The following opinions are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today I'm going to conduct a sea trial of a brand new ocean-going motor yacht from Ocean Alexander, the 100. We'll start by taking a look at some of her operational features. The helm station, beautifully laid out, center-mounted, with an island pod above housing 3 separate touchscreen panels. Below we have 2 operational stations. Those 3 touchscreens can also be controlled by this armrest control in the captain's station. The port lower station includes the Octoplex system that allows us to control all of the electrical on the boat. VHF, the MTU display, Garmin Autopilot. To the starboard side, we again have the engine display, the digital shift and throttle, the controls for the bow and stern thruster, the dual controls for the Maxwell windlasses, and the side power stabilizer controls. The chairs are all leather, adjustable electrically for fore and aft, up and down. They've got flip-down footrests, flip-up armrests, and the seat back reclines up and down.
All the way to starboard is a captain's workstation.
Now with the center-mounted helm, we need a way to access the boat so we can see both the port and starboard side. And on the Ocean Alexander 100, we have doors to both sides of the pilot house. These can be left open. Bug screens will give us ventilation to the interior. And from this location, we have a commanding view of the entire side of the boat. And we can control the boat from this location with an optional remote control. And because this is a distance cruiser, we have a Portuguese bridge that allows us to walk around while we're likely on autopilot and get a view of the entire exterior of the boat. All the antennas are easily accessible with a service ladder. The crew quarters access from 2 locations, the port side deck and right here at the transom. As soon as we enter, we first have a lazarette that's got plenty of storage to both sides, plus the 2 containers for the shore power take-up reels. In the center and towards the stern, we have the steering gear easily accessible with the hydraulic lines perfectly visible. Moving ahead, we have the crew quarters. Upon entering the crew area, we have to starboard a workbench, over-under berths, another over-under berth. This time the above one is a Pullman. And we'll go past the main crew area to the captain's quarters, the master stateroom, and directly across, the crew head. Now, the main crew area, L-shaped settee surrounding a pedestal table, TV on the opposite bulkhead, and we have a galley with a Uline refrigerator, single burner stove, sink, microwave just above. We've got storage over to the side, and here, a stacked washer and dryer. Now, just ahead, we have a separate entrance to the port side deck, and this gives the crew unfettered access to the entire exterior of the boat, including the galley, which has its own exterior door. Now, just ahead, we've got access to the engine room.
Inside the engine room are the twin 1920 horsepower MTU 12V2000 engines with the usual walkway in between. As we look around the engine room, to the aft bulkhead we have the generator controls for the 2 55 kW generators, the hydraulic system for the bow and stern thrusters. To the side there's a compressor providing power to the automatic opening doors to the salon and upper deck. The chilled water system is just ahead. Below is one of the generators. Opposite is another chilled water system, and we can see the second of the generators below, along with the enclosed battery boxes. Aft of the engines we can see the power takeoffs for the hydraulic systems, and the transmissions are equipped with trolling valves. All through hull fittings are easily accessible and fitted with ball valves and double clamps. The exhaust risers are well supported with shock absorbing mounts. Fuel manifolds and a schematic of the fuel and fuel polishing systems are to the forward bulkhead.
As we get to the bow, rail height is 43 inches. We've got heavy-duty tackle, both on the rail and on the deck. Foot controls for the windlass and 2 windlasses. And to the starboard side, we've got line handling gear again.
As we depart, the bow and stern thrusters really proved their effectiveness, and we were able to maneuver the 100 in our tight confines of our dock with little effort, and soon we were on our way to the open water. The Ocean Alexander 100 motor yacht has a length overall of 100 feet 2 inches, a beam of 23 feet, and a draft of 6 feet 5 inches. With an empty weight of 220,264 pounds, 47% fuel, full water, and 4 people on board, we estimated our test weight at 237,588 pounds. With the 1920 horsepower MTU 12V2000s turning 50-inch by 43-inch props in slight tunnels, we reached a top speed of 22 knots at 2350 RPM. Her best economic cruise is subjective to whether she's being operated at displacement or planing speed, and the range is fairly linear throughout the power curve. That said, at the man-recommended cruise setting of 80% load, we were running at 19.7 knots with a 147-gallon-per-hour fuel burn that produced a range of 482 nautical miles while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 4,000-gallon total fuel capacity. As for her handling, I was most impressed with the 100's turning capability. I mean, this thing handles like a sport boat with tight turns and instantaneous responsiveness. I mean, seriously, this is a 100-foot yacht with the same turning radius that we've seen in most express cruisers. She presented a dry ride during our tests at cruise speeds, but when slowed to displacement speed, she did start to show some spray on the windshield when running through the chop. Her solid feel showed through regardless of the direction we approached the seas, and her stabilizing fins did a great job of keeping us stable without having to fight the boat. In other words, when we felt motion, the natural tendency to stabilize ourselves was not offset by the mechanics trying to stabilize the boat. It was remarkably comfortable. Overall, this is clearly a cruising yacht made for long distances, as she's not only a well-handled boat, but a comfortable boat to be on. But that's another video, be sure to look for it.
And that's my full test of the Ocean Alexander 100 for BoatTest.com. I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.